back to more conversation with Chris Epps Presents on Hott 923.
And we're back on Atlanta's Hot R&B station, Hott 92.3 on
iHeartRadio.
All right, he's here once again with the RealTEA segment, educating our listeners on the do's and don'ts when in the market for purchasing a home. So give it up for the young, gifted go-getter, a.k.a. Atlanta's best realtor, Josh. And Josh, get him.
Just hold it. Just hold it. Hold what you got. I am back again. Welcome to 2026. I miss y'all.
We miss you too.
I ain't seen y'all in a month of Sundays, so hop on in the passenger seat and take a ride on down the RealTEA street with me, okay?
All right.
Since we're in a new year, I want to give you a full scope of your old market, right? So let me talk to all the people that are telling me that they want to become realtors, right? You want to start a career. Well, I got a little news for you. Stay over there where you're at. And this is why. 71% of licensed active realtors did not sell a home in 2025, according to Redfin, Zillow, and other reports that would not include you because you were inactive, ma'am. So if you're looking for a career change, real estate ain't it. We full. Go back over there where you at. We ain't got no room. Don't come over here. It's 100,000 of y'all in Metro Atlanta, and 99% of y'all don't know what y'all doing. Which leads me to my next point. We are actually tilting into a buyer's market, guys. Let's actually address where the market is. We've been in a balanced market for for the entire year of 2025. We're tilting into a buyer's market. What this means, it means that although inventory is still slightly low in regards to the houses as well as the buyers that are in the market right now are seeing significant returns or significant outcomes during the negotiation process. Recently, or reports show from Redfin, the National Association of Realtors, and other sources that buyers are seeing anywhere in negotiations of gaining upwards of $20,000 more in concessions that they would get from sellers in the past 5 years. So that's really good for buyers. However, that is an unknown thing, right? Because if you're not in the market looking for a house, you don't know that you have the upper hand or that you have the advantage at this time. There are a lot of buyers that are still scared. They feel like interest rates are real high. That's a driving factor for them, right? So what we're doing, and I talked about this, not we, I'm saying we like I'm in charge of the money. Well, I am a little bit. But what's happening now, and I've talked about this before in my segment, there are very few times in history where you can actually get down payment assistance and the down payment interest rate is lower than what it actually takes to bring your own money to the table. So whenever the United States of America are trying to prompt buyers to get back in the market, to encourage them, we see this happening. It's going to be a small window. It won't last long. I think it'll be gone away by June. So when I'm doing my research, we're looking at Redfin, the Federal Reserve, and the banking and finances, where these facts actually come from. But the average interest rate right now is ranging from 5.6 to 6.78. And let me tell you why. When they are giving a wide range of rates like that, it is because they are looking at multiple loan types at one time. So you have FHA, you have VA, you have conventional, you have USDA, which are our main 4 types of loans, right? Typically, if we're giving a veteran a loan, we want to honor them for their service to our country. So they're going to get lower interest rates. Right now, on average, what I see for veterans is anywhere from 5.1 to 5.7 with an interest rate, right? And that's across the board with different banks. On average, the conventional interest rate the FHA interest rate is anywhere from 6.2% to 6.5%. Right now, just depending on what bank you choose, because all banks cannot do the same things. I say this all the time. Interest rates are negotiable. Most buyers don't know it. And if you're choosing an uneducated realtor, then they don't know to tell you that. And I'm not saying that to demean anybody else or to be funny, but because we are in a market that is transitioning, those 71% of realtors that didn't sell a house, they didn't have any strategy, any structure to the plan. So you actually have to know how to navigate a market like this. Even though it is a buyer's market as well, sellers can also still win. How do you say? Well, take this for an example. I got a listing from a client. I sold him a house. He did not know that realtors can represent buyers and sellers. They don't have to pick a side. So before calling me, and I did not do my due diligence in doing my 33 touches and keeping up with him, but he called Mark Spain. And it's okay, this is our radio show, so I can say their name. They were going to sell his house for $113,000 less than what I listed it for. They were going to sell it for $175,000 less than what it appraised for. When he saw that appraisal report, he backed out of the deal. He came to me. I said, okay, let me position you to win. This is where having an educated professional comes into play. I said, we know that the house is worth about $470,000. We're tilting towards a buyer's market. Buyers can get down payment assistance. We're trying to urge them to come back in. But the truth of the matter is they're not really coming in right now. This is the last quarter of 2025 when I received this listing, and I'm giving him all of the stats. Most people are not looking to purchase a home right now simply because they're thinking about Christmas, buying gifts for their children, so forth and so on. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to price your house at $415,000, which is still $102 more than what the actual previous agent listed it for. Mm-hmm. However, pricing the house lower than what we know it's worth is actually going to put you in a highest and best situation in a buyer's market. And he was like, are you sure? I said, I'm absolutely positive. Not only did we go into a highest and best situation, we got more than asking price, which was even a greater distance between what the previous agent was going to get him versus what I got him. He paid little to no down payment because seller concessions towards that buyer because the buyer knew that they were in a competition with 4 other buyers that actually wanted that house. So it's going to take strategy to be able to dominate this market. It's going to take know-how, and it's going to take you just being pretty privileged, right? Because a lot of people get into this industry because they are beautiful people, and beautiful people statistically do better in sales. Well, if you don't understand where to get stats, where to keep up with the market, how to find out about market trends in regards to interest rates, sales, and other things like that, Epic Realty and Lending is out here to teach you guys, but at a cost, right? So that is our Realty segment for the day, and the floor is open for questions.
Good stuff. Good stuff. You good?
Well, my first question is probably more of a joke, though. It's like,
come on with it.
Where you get the beauty from, then? Can you give us
Well, I was born with mine. Now, I bought a little bit of it, but for the most part, I was like 90%. I was born with it.
Which part you born?
That's right.
I'm going to give this.
So you believe that the strategy of the agent is really what gets the house sold?
In any market, take me out of it. It is always strategy. So I was pulling numbers this morning before the show. My first business partner, and I think I shared this with you, TT. My first business partner, we were together maybe a couple of months. He didn't like that I wanted to specialize in helping African Americans and indigenized people, and he didn't like being associated with the whole 589. So we went separate ways. Fast forward today, he owns the fastest growing Keller Williams, and it is the largest one in the world. He has 20 times more realtors than me. However, when you break down the metrics of what his realtors actually sold versus what my realtors actually sold, we superseded them in numbers by far. And it is because we teach strategy. You have to understand the market. Yeah. It's not enough to know square footage. It's not enough to know crime rate and stuff like that. You got to be a step above the rest. If there are 100,000 people doing your same job in the same area that you're in, it's got to be something of value that you can offer that client that's going to be slightly different from the other 99.999 thousand realtors that are doing it. You got to have some type of know-how, even down to knowing how to represent sellers in a buyer's market and vice versa. How do we navigate these troubled waters? You can't do that telling me what the square footage is and this, that, and the third. It plays a part. It's a very minimal part in today's market.
That's great advice. So you're saying it was about 70-something percent.
71%.
71% of realtors, licensed realtors, did not sell.
Active licensed
Active.
realtors.
That's even worse.
Yeah, because it narrows it down.
Right. So these active realtors didn't sell anything last year, not one home.
Not one.
And going off a strategy, because I'm receiving what you're saying, that's necessary for any type of sale. So why would it not apply here? Right. Okay. What is one tip you would give a realtor that you can give out for free? Give the tip for free. No, we ain't gonna give them all the money, but just give them a couple of coins, a little token. What tip would you have then for one of those 71%?
I gave it today, and I always give it. You have, and this is something that I drive home on our weekly meetings with my team, right? You have to also know everybody else's job affiliated with the transaction, primarily the lender, because they are going to tell you what their truth is. How do I know that your truth is the truth? Right. So if I know, so I work for a mortgage company. I'm a licensed or mortgage broker, right? So basically, I own a mortgage company, but they fund the deals that I do the mortgage for.
Right.
They tried to tell me about 2 weeks ago that a 6.2% interest rate was fair and common for a VA loan. It is not when I'm still a realtor and I have clients who get pre-approved before they come to me, and I see people getting a 5.1. Mm-hmm. But I gotta know, and even though I'm a lender, I gotta still have my client's best interest at heart too, right? So because I know where to find interest rates, because I know to look online, other companies, even ask ChatGPT, it's at your fingertips. But just knowing things like that, and also I want my client to get the lowest interest rate, because if I get you a lower interest rate, I can sell you a more expensive house and my commission gonna be higher.
I love it.
Bim and boom.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our resident realtor, Josh, with the RealTEA segment, dropping nuggets of wisdom. Josh, go ahead and give out your information if somebody wants to get in contact with you and hire you as a realtor. Where can they find you?
Well, you can find me on Lips Crawlers. I'm just playing. On all social media platforms at the Joshua O'Bryant. Instagram, social media, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and YouTube.
All right, thank you so much. We're getting ready to take another break. We have Sherilyn, Got to Be Real, followed by Annie Kamosi, Here Comes the Hot Stepper, and we're coming back with the question of the day. And this is the kitchen table talk, the internal conversation does racism still exist in the black community? And there was somebody of the same ethnicity that doesn't believe that it does. So we're going to unpack that in the next segment. So keep it locked here on Atlanta's Hot R&B station, Hot 92.3 on
iHeartRadio.
We'll be right back after these jams. Keep it locked.